Good evening. Tonight, we confront a story that has gripped the world with anguish and uncertainty: the Gaza ceasefire. A glimmer of hope amidst the ruins of unrelenting violence, or merely a pause before the next chapter of devastation. This is not just about ceasefire agreements. It's about the unyielding cycles of history, the geopolitical chessboard, and the grim future that hangs in the balance. The stakes are monumental, and the world watches with bated breath. To understand the gravity of this ceasefire, we must explore history. The roots of this conflict stretch back over a century to the British Mandate of Palestine. Promises made and broken laid the groundwork for decades of animosity. The establishment of Israel in 1948 marked a turning point, but for Palestinians, it became a symbol of displacement and despair. Wars in 1967 and 1973, the First and Second Intifadas, and countless military operations have defined a legacy of mutual suffering. Gaza itself became a flashpoint, a densely populated strip under blockade, described by many as the world's largest open-air prison. Now, in the wake of weeks of intense bombardment, diplomatic channels have brokered a ceasefire. But let's not mistake this for peace. This agreement, mediated by international powers, comes after unimaginable suffering. Over 12,000 dead in Gaza, women, children, entire families wiped out. Hospitals overwhelmed. Homes turned to dust. The scars run deep, not just in infrastructure but in human memory. Israel, too, has endured civilian casualties, a relentless barrage of rockets, and an ever-present sense of vulnerability. For both sides, the ceasefire is fragile, held together by international pressure rather than genuine reconciliation. But this is more than a regional conflict. The Gaza ceasefire is a fulcrum on which global geopolitics pivots. Consider this. The United States was struggling to maintain its role as an impartial mediator, while providing billions in military aid to Israel. Iran was supporting Hamas and seizing every opportunity to challenge Israel's existence. Saudi Arabia was quietly recalibrating its regional alliances as it navigates normalization talks with Israel. Russia and China were watching, waiting, and leveraging this conflict to expand their influence in the Middle East. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not just about Gaza. It's about shifting alliances, proxy wars, and a world order on the brink of transformation. And what of the people trapped in this cycle of violence? In Gaza, children make up nearly half the population. What future awaits them? Traumatized, orphaned, and facing a world that seems to have abandoned them. In Israel, civilians live in constant fear, running to bomb shelters at the sound of air raid sirens. Generations of Israelis and Palestinians have grown up knowing only hostility. This ceasefire, however fragile, offers a moment of reflection. But will it be enough to break the chains of generational hatred? Or is it merely a prelude to another chapter of devastation? The ceasefire's implications extend far beyond the region. Here's what we must consider. First of all, it is a precarious peace. Without addressing root causes, occupation, blockades, and statelessness, this pause in violence is destined to collapse. Secondly, it is a diplomatic fallout. How will global powers respond? Will the US maintain its unwavering support for Israel, or will it face mounting domestic and international pressure to push for a two-state solution? Thirdly, radicalization will grow. For every home destroyed in Gaza, for every life lost, the seeds of radicalization are sown. How can this cycle be broken? Finally, regional stability is uncertain. With Iran, Hezbollah, and other actors watching closely, the ceasefire could either stabilize the region or ignite new proxy wars. The international community now stands at a crossroads. Will nations work toward lasting peace, or will they perpetuate a status quo that profits from arms deals and political posturing? And what of us, the citizens of the world? Are we content to watch from the sidelines, or will we demand accountability, justice, and humanity? The Gaza ceasefire is not just a story, it's a call to action. To leaders, to citizens, to all of us who dare to hope for a better future. Tonight, as we reflect on the fragility of this ceasefire, let us remember the lives lost, the futures shattered, and the stakes that could not be higher. The world is watching. The question is, will it act? Thank you for joining us. Stay informed, stay vigilant, This is Zoku Lode, signing off from the Lion's Roar.